So like most MLBs, you will be able to create your own stadium. The question is, how do you do it? Then, if you are in the main menu, as you can see, we can go into the top right. We have got settings and also create. From here, you have got the stadium creator, the roster control, and also the vaults. So if we go into the stadium creator, it does take a second to go in, but we are in already. That was actually quicker than normal. So you can see there we've got template stadiums, we've got recent uploads, most popular that we can download, and I'll go over. But the create new stadium is going to be filled with a decent amount of kind of variety. I don't feel like they've done masses of updates, but we can keep going with it. So this bit might take a little bit of time just because it's going to load a fresh stadium for you to build in. So we have got the bog standard, obviously get used to the controls and kind of moving, and we have got pretty much all this land to kind of have our little play around with. So that is a decent amount, and I must admit, if people spend you'd probably even say a few hours in this, you will be able to make your own stadium feel. So straight off the bat, you want to get yourselves kind of familiar with all of them. So as you can see, we've obviously got the wheel if we really wanted to create a prop. We wanted to properties, so if we wanted to go into the stadium, obviously you can go with the name, city, all of that good stuff. Then obviously if you want to get a prop, you go press A, and we are left with a few different things. So we can go with obviously multi-complexes, we can go with just generic buildings, you can go with a row of houses if you are going into that sort of massive design aspect as such. So obviously you've got the neighborhood row, you've obviously got the cul-de-sac. If then we go across, we've got museums, we've got shacks, shops, the whole shebang. So they're going to be pretty much all of the buildings. You can obviously cycle through and just put whatever you want. Obviously you can be either as close to the stadium or as far away as you can see on the end there. We then also have some wildlife, some kind of figurines. They don't actually move. We've got some very, very weird stuff going on, but you've got a lot of decent... Oh, that does move. Oh, that's weird. So you have obviously got a few things that you can go with there. There's nothing too crazy or weird, but the main thing is kind of going through and seeing. With the cement, what I would suggest is making sure that you are looking out, because otherwise you can't see. Obviously, you've got a big cement block. You can go to little ones, because what the cool thing is here, so for instance, say we pick, I think there was a mountain or something somewhere. So say we go for something like this, I suppose. So if we place it down with the A, what we can also do then is if we create another prop, say we want, for instance, the wildlife on there. Say we'll go for this thing. You can rotate with your left trigger and right trigger if you really wanted to. But what we can do is if we want to go there, hold the modifier, and as you can see there, we can actually adjust the height for what we want as well. So we can make sure that it's on the ground, and you can kind of add some extra features. So it may not be perfect and it doesn't necessarily snap, but you can add stuff on top of mountains as well if you really wanted to. Then obviously we go to, we've already done the terrain. We've got the stands as well, so you can create these more closer to the arena, so they will kind of fit in the design somehow. So if you wanted to get it as close as possible, you can kind of be a perfectionist with this sort of thing. But obviously you can go with the whole stadium if you're going to make a full stadium around it. That again is going to be something that is probably going to be more kind of to the theme of the actual arena. So you can obviously go with stands, you can go with kind of different types. I don't even know the difference between these, but we got more. Okay, so we got the kind of box entry as well there as well. So then obviously you've got some different signs, and then you can go with a standing crowd as well if you really wanted to. We also have all of the signs. As you can imagine, that is going to be plastered all around the billboards if you are going for more the authentic. You also have then the scoreboards that you can have as well, which obviously will have the movie animations whilst you're in game as well, which is really cool. So you can have a little play around. Again, you can lift these up. You can kind of move them back and rotate as and when you want. So that is something that you can use. We also have then the roadways, which I can imagine everybody knows about. You can go intersections, and you can kind of just get these all together themselves as well. We have lighting, so if you're looking for more of a nighttime mode, and also if you were to prop it down, for instance, you can press X to preview it in night mode, so you can obviously see where the lighting's all about. If you do want to delete stuff, then all you have to do is go ahead and click on it. So if you get a bit close, that might help a little bit. So you can just click, and then you can either swap prop, or you can back out, select it, and then you can obviously just move it around, and you can also cancel. If you want to modify, then obviously if you just go and hold LB, you can then click A, and also you can add to a group or remove, and if you wanted to delete, then you can just press B on it. So then we also have letters. So if you wanted letters to be high up in the air or anything like that, or kind of mounted on something, then that's something you can do as well. Then we've also got landscaping. This is going to be kind of more your monuments more than anything, fountains, statues, the whole shebang. You also then have flags, you also have then statues, and it just breaks them down a little bit more. We have furnishings, so you have some very weird kind of just random stuff that you can kind of put in. So you've got bins, you've obviously got different kind of railings sort of things. It's again depending on what you're looking for in terms of a stadium. Naturally, you will have trees, bushes, all of that good stuff, fences, the whole, pretty much everything's here. You've even got an aircraft carrier if you really wanted to. Then what else is it? You got a jet, you've got just, what on earth was that? Oh, okay, so you've got an aqua arena as well if you really wanted to in the far distance. It is just to make it more personal to yourself. And then obviously you've got concession stands as well. You can kind of make almost a kind of venue area, so you can have full control over the downloads of all of this and just make it your own. That's pretty much everything covered back to the buildings in terms of creating it. There is unlimited control that you can go with this. Like I say, you can go really far out when it comes to all of this sort of stuff. So there is a lot of land that you'll be able to kind of have your little play around with. So like, as you can see, if you go all the way out, as you go as far as you can, it will naturally go into random stuff. So I would kind of stick to the border, and you've obviously got all of this to play with to really make almost your city-esque town, I'd say, in your stadium. And that's everything you need to know.